Good Wednesday afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Nick Oresco. Let's get a check now of your weather and traffic to begin things with meteorologist Brian Lapis. Your ride this evening, Brian, looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good. Clear air.
Good Wednesday afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Nick Oresco. Let's get a check now of your weather and traffic to begin things with meteorologist Brian Lapis. Your ride this evening, Brian, looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good. Clear air, light wind, and traffic moving along fine. Look at that. Up and down I-91, we're in good shape. There was a small slowdown. 91 southbound, I believe. Yes, southbound at the 291 merge, but this is not anything unusual. The Pike is also looking good as well. As expected, it's been a brisk day to say the least. The red flag warning continues until 6 o'clock tonight for all of western Massachusetts. We've been telling you this and telling you it again. We can't stress it enough. Do not burn outside. Make sure smoking materials are completely extinguished because our high brush fire danger will continue until we get some soaking rain or we get some accumulating snow, neither of which are in our forecast, at least for the next 7 days. Wind speeds have relaxed quite a bit as expected. We're around 10 miles per hour just about everywhere, even in the Berkshire. So wind is less of a factor, but the dry weather continues to be a factor. Temperatures also, as expected, are in the mid to upper 40s right now. We're on our way to a brisk night, to say the least. You can see the clear skies across the valley. We'll track weather for the middle of the week, for the second half of the week, actually, with our 22 News Storm Team Skycast in about 2 minutes.
Bay State Health is cutting 134 leadership positions as the hospital group works to address its financial problems. In a statement to 22 News, a spokesperson for Bay State Health said the staff reduction impacts less than 1% of their workforce. Some of the impacted positions are currently vacant and will no longer be filled, but there are also leaders leaving Bay State. Bay State Health has seen $300 million in operating losses over the past few years. An arrest has been made in a nearly 46-year-old cold case homicide. Hamden DA Anthony Gallooni announced the arrest of Timothy Scott Jolie at a news conference this morning. In November of 1978, the bodies of Teresa Marcoux and Mark Harnish were found in West Springfield just off of Route 5. Fingerprints were found at the scene, but no connections were able to be made for decades. A major breakthrough came last month when an anonymous tip to the DA's office claimed Jolie was involved. Jolie's print was found to be a match. He was arrested in Florida on November 5th and charged with murder. The city of Springfield will pay more than $3 million to a man who spent more than 30 years in prison for a rape he says he did not commit. The city council voted Tuesday night to approve the settlement with George Perot. Now, Perot was sentenced to life in prison for allegedly raping an elderly woman in Springfield back in 1985. But in 2016, a judge ordered him released, citing flawed evidence in the case. The DA's office considered retrying Perot, but ultimately decided not to because the victim and some of the investigators on the case have since died. Perot was charged with rape again in 2019 in Lawrence, but he pled guilty to a lesser charge in that case. Senate Republicans elected Senator John Thune of South Dakota to be their next leader in Congress. Thune will replace Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, who is stepping down from party leadership after a record 18-year tenure. Thune ran against two other senators for leader, Senator John Cornyn of Texas and Senator Rick Scott of Florida, who just won a second term. Back now with meteorologist Brian Lapis. A cold night ahead, Brian.
Yeah, it is. You know, our record low for tomorrow morning is 15 degrees, set in 1986 at Westover Air Reserve Base.
Okay.
We're going to be in the neighborhood. I don't know if we're going to be on the street, but we're going to be in the neighborhood of that early tomorrow morning. Let's take a look with our 22 News Storm Team forecast. First off, clouds and radar. It's actually, if you don't mind it, a little brisk. It's a lovely afternoon here. What's left of the sunshine. I'm just kind of looking over the camera at the Greenfield camera, and you can see that the Greenfield live camera, and you can see the sun is already starting to set this afternoon. All right, regardless, clear skies now and clear skies through the evening hours hours. The wind will diminish. The air is dry, and that is going to be a perfect recipe, as it were, for a chilly night. Evening temperatures will be in the 30s under clear skies. Clear overnight. So teens and 20s early tomorrow morning, say at 6 o'clock. And then I'm going to get over here and you can see a few scattered clouds in the morning. I'm going to call it a partly to mostly sunny day. The bulk of the clouds don't arrive until after sunset tomorrow. So again, a partly to mostly sunny day and a high of 46 to 50. And then we start a more significant warm up as we head toward the weekend. We'll talk about it with our 22 News Storm Team forecast on 22 News at 5.
The organizers of the 2026 Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games revealed the official branding and pictograms at an event in Italy. With just under 15 months until the Winter Olympics opening ceremony, the look of the Games shows the color scheme and imagery that will serve as the backdrop for the Games. The construction of the Olympic Village is also in full swing, with the Games starting on February 6, 2026. People magazine has announced its Sexiest Man Alive for 2024, and sorry to disappoint, it's not Brian Lapis. Unfortunately. It's John Krasinski, similar looks though, who starred as Jim Halpert in the sitcom The Office, the same role that kick-started his career. Krasinski has since gone on to star as the title character in Amazon's Jack Ryan, and has directed and starred in a Quiet Place film franchise. Krasinski takes the mantle from last year's honoree Patrick Dempsey. Coming up tonight on 22 News at 5 o'clock, we'll have a more in-depth look into the nearly 46-year-old homicide cold case and the recent arrest, plus the latest on the red flag warning as fires continue to burn across the state. And at the State House in Boston, a breakfast of champions was held to honor several lawmakers for their contribution to helping those with disabilities. Brian?
All right, traffic is in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of a slowdown, I-91 south of the 291 merge. Otherwise, things are good. Another dry day here tomorrow. We'll talk about fire danger and a warming trend for the weekend on 22 News at 5.
Brian, there's always next year for Sexiest Man 2025.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4. Latest news and weather anytime on our website, wwlp.com, and the free 22 News app.